this is a house divided in some ways, and how divided it is, we're not going to know really until we see whether Trump wins or loses, because we have a portion of the Republican Party, a very small slice of those voters, did not vote for Donald Trump in 2020. They voted for House Republicans and Senate Republicans, but not at the presidential level. Do they go back to Donald Trump this time? Because this time it really appears as if he needs them.
I'm glad you bring this up, and I've spent a lot of time over these last couple of days listening closely to both the former president and the current vice president as they talk about the economy. And there was a moment that stood out to me in the speech that Donald Trump gave in Savannah, Georgia, in which he said, we're all Republicans, we're conservative and whatever, but we're really about common sense. And to me, that kind of throwaway line about conservatism stood out. His sense of what the Republican Party is and stands for today. And I would love to just get your insight into how you would define it today. I know there are a lot of people who see it as tied completely to Donald Trump, that there's this new brand of republicanism. What does that term mean today? What does a remark like that, offhand as it might have been, mean as we try to define and pin down what republicanism is today?
Well, I mean, I think Republicanism, there are strains of the Republican Party platform today that strongly resemble going all the way back to Reagan, and certainly Newt Gingrich, Trent Lott, who were firebrands in their day. But the theme of smaller federal government, lower taxes, don't give money to people who are quote unquote undeserving, because that's been a theme for a very long time. And they win elections on these themes. So this is the grounding of the party. And I don't see a lot of daylight. What's happening now is that on social and cultural issues, where the Republicans were interventionist under Reagan, trying to be anyway, but kind of backed off in the Bush era, Bush 1 and Bush 2, but really came back with a vengeance. Growing out of the Tea Party fiscal constraint came a lot of sort of moral intervention. This is a good, this is a bad, and the party got consumed by that. And Trump rode the wave of economic dissatisfaction, the theme of smaller federal government, and also piggybacked on these efforts that turn out the vote to overturn Roe v. Wade on abortion, against transgen, for example, and now anti-immigrant sentiment. So I don't see in the fundamentals a lot of shift in the Republican Party. The voting records on these issues are the same. It's just that they ventured into territory now that they stayed away from and won presidencies by staying away from them in the past couple of decades.